Good morning, everybody. We are here at the club. Wow, look at this crowd. We are going to have some fun today. Joe, we are going to start with you. You've got a video for us. Why don't you tell us about that, please?
Okay, well, so last week we looked at the it was the 55th anniversary up in Tucson, or actually it's Oro Valley, and being the 55th anniversary, I knew my priorities. So so it was excruciating to see the old cars coming in for what was going to be a tour the next day.
Okay.
And I mean, we've all discussed that dilemma when we want to photograph something, but the person we're with isn't as interested in it. Anyhow, I just can't leave the cars alone.
Okay.
So to just sneak out is
Yeah, the bad thing is we're recording this, so your wife's going to find out.
Bribes and trade-offs.
Okay. All right, well, let's check this out.
Young Johnny still has an Oldsmobile. He loves the beautiful girl. She is the queen of his gas machine. She has his heart.
Roughly a dozen Phoenix collectors as old or older than their classic cars rolled into Tucson's El Conquistador Hilton on Friday, April 4th, 2025, with anticipation building for the next day's cruise.
Soft and low. Come away with me, Lucille, in my merry Oldsmobile. Down the road of life we fly, automobile, you and I. To the church we'll swiftly seal, then our wedding bells will peal. You can go as far as you like with me in my merry Oldsmobile. They love to spark in the dark old park as they go flying along. She says she knows why the motor goes, the sparker's awfully strong. Each day they spoon to the engine's tune, their honeymoon will happen soon. He'll win Lucille with his Oldsmobile, and then he'll fondly croon. Come away with me, Lucille, in my merry Oldsmobile. Down the road of life we'll fly, automobiling, you and I. To the church we'll swiftly seal, then our wedding bells will peal. You can go as far as you like with me in my merry Oldsmobile. Come away with me, Lucille, in my merry Oldsmobile. Down the road of life we'll fly, automobiling, you and I. To the church we'll swiftly seal, then our wedding bells will peal. You can go as far as you like with me in my merry Oldsmobile.
That's the best photography you've done. No,
I love that.
there's really good shots there. The reflection on that Cadillac of the mountains and everything. There's some really outstanding photographs there.
Thank you.
Yeah,
The close-ups of the details really make a difference.
definitely. It gives you some interest.
Yeah.
What do you think of the music?
I like
Great.
that. I like the old-fashioned cars with the old-fashioned music.
Now, the only question I have about that, Joe, was that from 1905, the music?
Yeah,
Really?
A
yeah.
little older than the cars, but still.
Yeah, the copyright is 1906, I think. but 1905 was when the guy made it. Apparently,
Wow.
he was quite a singer. So I don't know if anybody really listened to the music and thought they recognized it from Oldsmobile commercials over the decades.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, the verbiage is a little bit different.
Yeah,
Did anybody catch it?
not really. I was looking at the photos.
Well, the song goes on something like, "You can go as far as you want with me in my merry Oldsmobile." And they talk about the church and wedding and so on. So when Oldsmobile really wanted to use the song, or they definitely changed the verbiage.
Did they,
The lyrics.
The lyrics. Thank
did
you.
they not give him, then this guy didn't get, I must not have owned the copyright or something. Don't know.
Well, I mean,
They incorporated some of what he said and then changed it to a more modern.
exactly something more family oriented.
Oh, okay. Well,
How far do you want to
Well, I mean, it was.
Notice it wasn't a woman singing that.
go?
Yeah, I mean, this was so inspiring to me that I want to do a thing on. This guy also sang a song for one of the early aviation, and I was getting some vibes from Phil,
okay.
some by osmosis or something. I think I wanted to do a Phil historic piece of
Yes.
inventions. So we'll see what I can come up with.
Well, I'm very osmotic, so.
Yeah.
Joe, could you have found an Oldsmobile to make us the last picture in the presentation?
Nice thought.
Didn't.
I was with somebody that wasn't just.
Well, that's why I always say, so sometimes a photography thing is a solo thing. There's things that's going to interest you that somebody doesn't give two hoots in hell about, and they're ready to go after 5 minutes, and you're like, well, this is just getting good.
Well, that shot of the rabbit joint, the repair on that Woody,
Yeah.
that was terrific.
Yeah.
That was
very nice.
That was amazing.
I'm glad you understand it and appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know, the other thing that I really liked is this the first time you've done narration?
No.
Okay.
He's done it before.
Okay. But there was something about this that the voice really was perfect.
Yeah.
With
Good.
I thought,
Not too much. He just let it flow. It flowed well.
And who do you suppose I was thinking of when I did my recording? But that moving blanket over my. Thank you, Todd.
it sounded good. It sounded real, the voice sounded real clean. I thought it was perfect. So
I liked how slow the pans were. That really worked well.
So are you still married?
I think so.
well, you know, the thing that's nice to Todd's point, which is great, is that he gives you time to look at the image, and it doesn't just machine gun through. The images are only up for 3-4 seconds with a little cross dissolve. I'd have to look and see. Probably they were up at least 6-7 seconds, maybe on some of them. But that to me flows with the music in terms of you're seeing that nice. Do I have to tell people to turn their cell phones to silent? We're going to start. Come on, Ron.
Yeah, Ron.
Anyway, it does. It really, to me, it allows you that time to really look at something and see some of these little details that normally you might not see if it went too quick.
Well, there was one scene where the guy's looking at the car, and there's somebody, I couldn't see the guy inside originally, and it was a little long, but it was kind of fun because it was people were looking around.
You know, Phil, that was the one that I hesitated on.
Right here.
Yeah.
I liked it because the door then just suddenly opened. And
Yeah,
I
and
did
there-
not see the guy in there.
Yeah, I didn't
So
see him
it's
in
kind of a
there.
Surprise.
First,
If you were going to do this, I would, to Phil's point, I love the whole shot. As the door starts to open here, cut now from here. Get rid of all that now. Show me that shot where the guy comes out of the car.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
cut out that. What's the time? Let's see. We're at 1:01. You got about 6-7 seconds.
Sounds
If
good.
you just trim that just a little bit, that scene is the perfect amount. He flips the door open, now it comes out the door.
This clip I did pick up off the floor.
Yeah,
I mean, I just kind of, I'm about people,
yeah,
and that was.
that's perfect. I think it's really well done. I mean,
Yeah,
Great job.
this is definitely a Showtime piece for Tom.
Yeah.
So,
Well, the music was just great.
yes, exactly. It just set the mood. Does anybody have anything else on that?
How'd you find the music?
Yeah, it's a good question.
He remembers it from high school.
Wow, it's getting all those commercials.
Watching TV in the 50s.
I'm scratching my head. I can't remember, Royce.
Did you do some kind of a Google search maybe to see
Probably.
like old Oldsmobile song or something?
The Oldsmobile wasn't part of it.
Oh, you just saw
Maybe car commercials
Okay.
or car music or something.
Well, the Library of Congress has a ton of stuff
Oh, dude.
from this era. Yeah, recordings.
Can you pull it down and use it?
Yes, it's the government. The government cannot copyright anything.
Interesting.
All the photographs that they've taken over the years, you own them.
Okay. Well, you know what I should do in the summary? I'm going to put a little link for Library of Congress. So maybe somebody wants to use something like that. That's great. Okay. Does anybody have anything else? All right, Joe. Well, thank you. That really a nice video. All right. Let's see here. Royce, you have got a video for us, please.
Yeah, I thought you were going to pick me next. Yeah, contrast, good versus yeah.
Oh boy.
Anyway, this is a little short thing, and I was trying to figure out, they didn't have enough videos, so I threw something together on my old hard drive, 2023. It was
Okay.
kind of interesting to me because I'm technical. This happened, and I'll let the video.
Okay. All right. Well, let's
It's
check
only a
it out.
minute long.
Okay. Well, there you go.
The 2020 pandemic demonstrated the need for better communication between hospitals. This was a critical factor in funding a higher capacity fiber communication link between states. A short section of it runs across our property, which was installed in the summer of 2023. This increased the number of fibers from 28 to 248. The new lines are 400 gigabit per second, fully subterranean long-haul fiber connecting the Pacific Northwest, Seattle, Portland, Hillsborough, to the Midwest, Minneapolis, Chicago. This video shows the crew and equipment used to install the fiber cable. Along the route, access points are used to push and pull the cable through a plastic conduit. Fiber splicing is minimized since it's a complicated and expensive process.
All right. Now that wasn't Royce talking, so who was talking?
The guy here all the time on YouTube, and AI voice just picked it up.
What do you think of that?
I wrote the text for it. I actually Googled the project itself and got the information.
Okay.
That's where I almost spent most of my time trying to figure out what the project was. And
Okay.
I actually talked to the guys that were installing it. And they told, I don't know if it was just propaganda or what, but they said it was for the hospitals and the pandemic, and that there was not very good communication between all the hospitals. And it was an incentive for them to put the line of increased capacities.
So that's on your farm?
Yeah. Yeah, so there's a right of way that goes right across the front. It's the
Okay.
main right of way north-south. There's a gas line for petrol from Seattle down to Portland that goes through there. There's fiber optic lines that go through there. So, yeah, so they came out and I just saw stakes show up on my property one day. And so I started calling and, oh, we didn't talk to you, did we? Yeah. Yeah.
Now, what do you think of the AI voice in terms of,
I like it. It was fun. It was fun.
It's okay.
it was okay?
I wondered who it was.
Sounded, well, I think the thing that was weird for me was you were talking first person in your what you've written for your narration, yet it's somebody else
Because it
talking.
It's because we know him. You would know. You
That's
would
true. That's true.
They came across our property, my property, or it was.
Well, yeah. I don't know, does that seem weird to anybody?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I guess the thing would be, would you then, my assumption would be you would rewrite what you were saying to not make it first person if you knew you were gonna have an AI voice. Correct?
Well, only people in here who know him and know his voice would even question that.
Right.
True.
Yeah, because then who your audience is gonna be.
Yeah.
But since we know Bryce,
But since we are the audience.
would it be better though if he did that?
And we now know that he's going to be the center of the explosion.
Oh, I wonder if you would rewrite that, take it out of first person and then just redo the whole thing. Just to, have the AI voice recreate it.
Just make it more of an industrial rather than
Yeah.
a personal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing that might be nice too, that I was thinking is, you start getting into some of that technical stuff. He's talking about, 400 gigabit or whatever. Maybe a little graphic on the screen emphasizing that might just make it a little bit more understandable for those of us that are non-technical people.
Like you had the paperclip.
Yes, which was perfect.
No, I did that.
Yeah,
Good.
I made him give me how much slice of that? All right, well, we cut that slice of the cable. So.
no, but that is a great thing because people don't understand what copper is versus, that's the phone, right?
That's the fiber cable they're laying it down.
No, this,
Those are all fibers in there.
is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking that this was copper and then this was.
No.
No, that's the actual cable they laid. And
Oh,
all those individual little sheets are, the
Right.
small part is like one of those.
okay.
So then the whole cable's got the whole
Stations total in how many different the fibers in the actual cable?
248. I'm making that number up because I really can't remember it. It's something like that.
Staggering.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I guess we needed an explanation of that or something to clarify just what that is, right? Because everybody.
Yeah, I was, like I said, when I first saw this, I thought, oh, well, that's, a copper line for phone line, and you're just showing that to
So we
compare.
have some text up there. This is the actual cable or whatever. Yeah.
Fiber optic cable.
Yeah.
At 50 miles, these things have to have an optical amplifier.
So that one on the bottom left, the piece of cable.
It's the same thing
It's just.
Yeah, just one
it's
section.
Just one section, cross section, right?
of that.
Yeah, but that wasn't obvious to me. I thought it was the whole thing. Somehow you did it little and then thick.
I love the paperclip though. Well,
No, it's good.
It really gives that size.
It
I
does.
don't know how big that actually is.
Big paper clip.
Yeah.
Sidebar, with all these data centers that we're hearing about,
Mhm.
they're all going to use the fiber optic.
Sure.
There's a company called Corning that makes all the covers and faces for these Apple things,
The glass.
and it's gonna get big time into that.
Is that your stock tip for the day?
Yeah. I'll see you in the videos and you don't come back at them.
I'd love to know how they're splicing these things.
Yes,
Yeah, that would be.
yeah, I'd like to see.
I asked the question and he says one guy and he's doing all the one work and sets up a station. And
Usually I've seen they've got like some sort of a tent.
Yeah.
Guys inside.
No, they do it in the truck usually.
Well, yeah.
They have,
Yeah.
open up the.
Pull a piece off the internet or something showing
Yeah,
someone splicing.
I would have gone into more detail, but it got too technical, was how they use pressurized air and they move the cable through and pull
Okay.
it through pressurized air. It's kind of cool because they first came out, they dug the hole and they laid the conduit, so, and then they came up, which they pulled some kind of arbitrary puller through there. It's not the fiber cable. And then they came back a month later and they actually laid the fiber cable.
How deep do you think it is?
It's about 3-4 feet down there.
Yeah. Somehow or other, there was a section that was damaged. And I think we're still at the paper, and I think that the story was that it could cost up to $10,000 for splicing if something is damaged.
Oh, I'm sure.
And when you look at that, you just say, how do they splice? How do they repair a section?
Oh, I'm sure.
If it takes a day or a day and a half,
Well, sure. And you're down, your internet is
Oh, yeah.
down, so what does that cost? your customers are really not happy with you that this has happened. When's our service back up?
Yeah, and they probably have satellite backup or something of that
Yeah.
nature, but, you know, it's hard, it's underground.
Right.
So.
Well, a couple of years ago, at the Ball Mine Road, a truck went through and clipped Cox cable.
Okay.
And it took them a couple days before,
Oh, yeah.
and then they were out there a long time getting it fixed.
I'm sure. Well, we're so dependent on it anymore that to not have it is critical. Yeah.
This is a side note, but one of the major investment companies, I don't remember the name, ran fiber optics from New York City to Chicago. So in stock trades, it gave them like a half second
Yes.
advantage, and they made millions.
Yes.
It cost them millions to put it in,
Oh, yeah.
but just because it's faster communication.
Yeah, I remember that story. And whatever that distance is, to think that they personally funded that
Yep.
is insane.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the original fiber systems in the United States, they ran through abandoned gas lines.
Oh, yeah.
So they bought up these gas lines that hadn't been used in years underground and then started running fiber through them.
Interesting. Well, hopefully at some point in Green Valley here, we'll get some fiber. I would be the first customer, so.
I thought they were running fiber down.
It's coming in the next year.
19
Spring is supposed to
They
be.
did.
You're saying next year, maybe?
Well, they were running it down to Dallas.
Well, sure.
They did.
Yeah, but they're not stopping in Green Valley.
Well,
I'm just
they
saying
got the
those here.
splicers in.
They are.
Yeah, like I say, they can't afford to splice Green Valley in there.
All cheap. Yeah, yeah, nobody cares about the fiber, but a few of us, like me. Okay, does anybody have anything else on that? All right, well, thank you, Roy.
It was
I
good.
like this title though, but it's.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that was good.
We get it.
All right, let's see here. Diane, you got a video for us, please. Why don't you tell us about this?
Okay, I went to the Tucson Folk Festival over the weekend, and these are some shots of the musicians and some of the people there.
Okay, let's check it out.
It'll make you look 100 when you're 94.
She's unable to lunch today.
What do we think of that? Did you like the little vignettes with all the different musicians playing? Yes? No?
Yeah.
Wow.
A good overview of what was there.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've never been, so that was nice to see what it was like. Yeah.
What did you think about some of the crowd shots?
Crowd shots were great.
Yeah.
I was a little worried about those people behind the curtain.
Well, I was thinking, I personally like the contrast of the musicians with the people that were the crowd were dancing or whatever. I just thought it kind of presented a nice balance as to what was going on.
Yeah.
It's like makes a good split screen there.
Oh, well, that would have been interesting.
Yeah, the blending of the music in between all shots. I mean, it was smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Spent some time on it, huh?
Was I'm assuming when you did the cross dissolves between the shots that it was giving us the fade down on the one clip and then the other one was coming up. I mean, that was the way to do it in terms of instead of a hard cut.
I thought it was a really nice piece, except it had a bad ending.
As in
It had no ending.
As in the last shot?
Kind of
Like right here? Well, or this. Well, here's the thought. Maybe this is your last shot, and then you run your photography by on this at the end here, and then fade it out. To Phil's point, if we play it again.
Just visually, it just doesn't work. That's a conclusion.
I can see that. I mean, I think if it was me, to Phil's point, maybe that last shot is the shot, and she's singing, and then you just fade down, fade to black, but you have, somewhere in here, photography by Diane R or something. Kind of as just a close.
Yeah.
And then just let it fade down.
Yeah.
That would be
Kind
nice.
of match the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of the character shots, though, the guy who was a barber's nightmare, and I mean, they're great. It's just tight shots. They're fun.
Well, the funny thing was, I'm watching these people like this guy right
This
here,
guy.
and I'm thinking, God, this guy must have got into jeans gummies or something. I mean, he is. I mean, he was into it big time, but he might have been a little mind altered.
Well, he's not popping vitamins, let me tell you.
Probably not.
Can you do in iMovie, can you do any kind of thing with the saturation levels? Because there's quite a difference in the shots where they're kind of blowing out a little bit versus the other ones.
Well, there are exposure adjustments you can make in iMovie. You shot this with your or your big camera? Okay. I mean, as I'm looking at this, now I'm looking at the TV. Like some of these shots, like that shot is balanced pretty nicely in terms of its levels.
Yeah, those are like indoors.
Yeah.
Covered area where the people dancing are not.
Right.
They're
Yeah.
out in fun.
Like this shot could use a little more contrast. Just the blacks are a little washed out. If we took that and just added a little bit more black to the blacks.
I mean, you can do that in iMovie? Or what?
Well, you can make an exposure adjustment. I can't remember if you can do contrast. Okay, if you can do contrast, then adding some contrast would help. There's some of those shots that just could use a little bit more. And actually, the funny thing is, see how it starts out? It's fairly good, and then as it gets going, because the phone sees all this black, it opens up.
It's not the phone, though.
Yeah. Or I mean, well, are you shooting in automatic mode though?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's going on. Because if you see it, look at how deep that is right there. You see that? How deep this black is? And then watch what happens as soon as she's.
What's the technical term for that? Is that color grading or is that what is?
No, it's just the exposure's lightening up.
It's
color grading.
Well,
color grading.
yeah. Here's my thing. I normally, you see as it starts to go lighter, see that? I never shoot in automatic mode, and that's why. Because the camera is going to make adjustments. I'd rather shoot in a manual mode with 35 millimeter. Now with the phone, an Android or an iPhone, there's nothing you can control a little bit of that, but I would always want to shoot manually because I always want to have that adjustment ability later on where I say, okay, it's too light or too dark. I'd rather have it be personally, if it's like this, we'll find if that's the exposure, then I'll adjust to that. If it's this, then I'll adjust to that. Meaning in the manual mode, it's not going to change the exposure. So that's me. But you certainly have more
Can
control.
you actually see that on a small screen on the camera? Because that's what I have a lot of trouble with. It's small screens.
Are you saying on a phone or
Even on the iPhone, but mostly on my Canon, which I rarely do.
right?
But it's just I can't see what I've done until I get it on the big screen.
Right.
It's like I wish I would have known that when I was shooting it if I could see that.
Right.
And I noticed when you shot a lot of video, you had the big iPad there in front of you.
Right.
It gives you the bigger picture.
Right.
And
Well, to not get technical, but if I go back to the days of shooting film in photography, when you would shoot color negative film, you would always shoot a little lighter. In transparency film or slide film, you would always shoot a little darker because once in video is the same way. If we go above 100%, we're blowing out that detail. If I'm going to be wrong, I'm going to be wrong to the dark side with the exposure because I know I can
I
always
can
light
do that all kinds of ways.
Well, I am evil. We know that. But anyway, so I always think of video as transparency film. So I always would rather, if I'm not sure of an exposure because I'm looking at a small screen, I'd rather shoot it a little dark and know that I can lighten it up. But if I shoot too much, if it blows out, then I can't bring that detail back.
Well, part of that is in the editor in the dissolve. That's why we lost the colorimetry there.
Right. Well, and if you look, and the TV here, this shot actually, if you look at my monitor, the exposure's good. She's got a good exposure there, but on the big screen, his beard looks like it's starting to blow out a little bit. So.
Well, I was with someone that wasn't interested in photography.
Again, that's why I say you go out by yourself. Or you tell them, hey, I'll meet you there, you drive, I'll drive, and then they go, hey, Diane, I'm out of here. I don't had enough. It is hard. It is hard when you go with somebody, unless they're shooting too, but
And they don't care.
they're like, okay, this is boring, I hate this. So anyway, it's just a thought. Does anybody have anything else on that?
Diane, did you get on that last image? Was that the end of their song?
Oh, is it faded out?
Yeah.
Woman was singing?
I'm just wondering, did you get any of them like playing, how musicians will end the song,
Yeah. No, that wasn't the end of the song.
Well, I guess the thing let's say that the band is playing, the woman has stopped singing, and for a half a minute she's not singing, and that's the end of the song. Well, that isn't going to be as interesting. I like the shot, hear her singing, and then just fade it down.
I think what he was saying is like end of the song when that would be a good.
Could you use it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you had the shot.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, if you're going to do a band shot, but if she's just standing there and dancing, I don't know.
Well, I mean, you can still use this footage in a different part, but end it with the
last
chorus.
chorus.
I don't have that.
Okay.
So,
Well, or you could also, the other thing you could do is you could also dub in some crowd clapping at the end here. So have like crowd cheering, kind of thing.
I did that one.
So that's the beauty of in post, you can add some of these effects.
yeah, I'd also just obviously my opinion, but I would take instead of that next clip where you have your name, I would just have photography Diane Marr. I wouldn't put a banner behind it. I would just put the text on there and maybe a drop shot.
Well, you could definitely do that, sure. Yeah. There's multiple ways that you could end this. So to Phil's point, this isn't as interesting.
It's not an ending.
That could be.
I'd end with a guy with a haircut.
Okay, one more question about color grading. How would you remedy that if you were using your editor?
Yes.
Would you do a keyframe of the one you want, and would and let your editor swipe through the whole thing and make adjustments?
As in for each clip or just one
Yeah,
clip?
so with my editor, you can go in and you pick a keyframe. Okay, this
Right.
is the color I want,
Right.
and then it will go through and massage the whole video to that keyframe.
You can do that. Wouldn't do that because you have all these different, if everything was under the same lighting condition, like she was indoors and it's the same stage lighting or whatever, then you could do that. But because everything there's inside, outside, like,
So if you pick that one that's the inside, which is a little better, and said, okay, I keyframe that, kind of contrast those saturation levels,
right,
and then try to apply that to the whole
it
video.
wouldn't work.
Okay.
You don't want to ever do that.
You'd never do that because you'd end up, this might be good, and you say, give me this the rest of the time. Now it makes an adjustment. It makes some of those other clips look really weird.
So you'd have to go and clip by clip?
I would do it individually, and if I was gonna, the way I personally work, just quickly, is I'm looking at each clip or each video, like photo, and I'm checking my levels. I'm putting that histogram up, and I'm looking at my levels, and I make sure that contrast wise, and I'm gonna show you one at the end here, and you'll see that. So, it's being taking a little bit more time, but it's getting it exactly the way that you'd like to have it. So, as we talk about it, some of these things, the more advanced you get, the more it takes time. So, that's automatic sometimes works, but automatic doesn't always work. Meaning auto levels, auto exposure on the camera. For some stuff it's great, but then there's times where it just doesn't work right, and I'd rather shoot with a 35mm. I'd rather shoot manually. So that's me. Okay. Well, thank you, Diane. Holly, you've got a video for us, please. Why don't you tell us about this?
Well, this is one of those videos that I do because I think I look at it, we all look at stuff all the time, but we don't see it. And this year I've been involved a little bit with the Save the Scenic Santa Rita's group,
Okay.
who are very, very concerned with Sahuarita especially, and Corona de Tucson, because that's where they're going to put them tailings first on this proposed Copper World mine. So when I've gone to events they have, I don't see many people from Green Valley, some.
Okay.
And they seem to say, it seems to be they're looking for, hey, you Green Valley people, don't you know this affects you? So that's why I made the move.
Okay, well, let's check it out.
Changing landscapes. Save the scenic Santa Ritas. In our modern world, people have the ability to actually change entire landscapes. Sometimes we change the landscapes that we had cherished, that actually sustain our clean air and clean water, mitigate climate change by storing carbon, and maintain a healthy aquifer for drainage for soil, flora, and fauna, including humans. Often the change is for financial benefit and/or convenience. This is the area that became Quail Crossing Boulevard. This change happened quickly. Many applauded the easier, faster route to Walmart. Sometimes we see the evidence of major changes in the landscape. Satellite views of Green Valley, Arizona show this quite strikingly. We can see mines and housing, and of course, the mountains. You can also see the largely unaltered landscapes by looking east as you drive the length of Green Valley, populated by more than 23,000 and extending approximately 15 miles. Make the same drive looking west to see the landscapes that we have changed. Continue along Mission Road toward Tucson if you'd like a close-up view. This map shows mining claims and the proposed tailings and facilities directly east of Green Valley. Mining in the Santa Rita Mountains, just to the east, is now being proposed and will cause grievous harm to the natural beauty and ecology, including our aquifer. El Jefe himself has been seen in the Santa Ritas. You can read more about the proposed project, including its likely effect on wildlife and economics, at scenicSantaRitas.org.
What do you think of that one?
I thought it was interesting in the beginning, right before March 2019 came on the screen. There was a house for sale. And the sign, there was two little additions to the sale sign. One said pool, the other one said view.
Oh, there you go, right there.
What is the view?
Well, it's probably the other way.
Actually, I think the frame before this, go back.
Yeah, hang on.
That is 360 degree or 180 degree difference at the same house, at the same driveway.
Okay.
So that's looking east, the other one's looking west.
Yeah.
So the view is from the other way in the house.
Yeah.
So that big pool in the aerial view, you know.
Yes.
That's mine.
Yes, that's the mine. There's a lot of technical things that I saw.
Yeah, that's because you've been gone so much.
Well, one of the things that your narration level was good, your music level was really low, and when you weren't talking, it's too low. I mean, you have to, just because when you put music in, you don't just set it, if you're going to do narration, you don't just set it for one volume and let it go. Like there was a couple spots, and at the end it was the same way. You know, if we hear you talking here about El Jefe, listen to that. Where's El Jefe? Is he back here? There he is. Okay. So listen to that, and then listen to how low that music is.
Including our aquifer.
Now your volume is perfect for the music to your talking. As soon as you stop talking,
El Jefe himself has been seen in the Santa Ritas. Yeah, I think that's because I put the music in about 10 o'clock. You can read.
Okay.
Well, you're right. It could be effect. I originally wanted to use Joni Mitchell's Big Yellow Taxi.
Okay.
Because of what it says.
Sure.
But I didn't want, first of all, I wanted permission, and I'm waiting. I'm going through some process to maybe be able to do that.
Right.
but I didn't want to show it today with nothing, so.
Sure.
I don't see your point here. I'm sorry.
Oh, with the video?
No, with your sound.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
In terms of the music being low?
You would raise it. I would raise the music when I'm not speaking.
Yeah.
Raise the volume of the music when I'm not
Oh,
speaking.
God. If that has to, if she's, let's say that she's, just as an example, she's at -2. She's in that -2 to -6 decibel range for her narration. Her music has to be down at -20, -25.
Oh, it is, yeah.
But when she comes to the points where she's not talking, there was a section in the center where there was about 15 seconds.
Life and economics at Scenic Center.
As soon as she's done here, I mean, God, I barely hear it. I think you've got.
Which I wanted it to be, but that's okay. I understand what you mean. Yeah.
Well, and normally, just as a quick example, if I'm doing like there's somebody talking, and then I'm going to give it a little boost when there's somebody not talking, I'm not going to come up 20 decibels. I'm going to probably come up maybe 10 decibels just to give it a little something, because to me, there was a spot in the middle here somewhere where
It's during that, I think. Escapes.
Well,
A little later, but
yeah.
anyway.
Anyway, I personally, I think that music has got to come up just when she's not talking. And it needs to be a gradual come up, not an abrupt. Todd, we've done that before. We talked about that. And
About 3 seconds.
yeah, just adding that, instead of it being like a 1 second from -25 to, let's say, -10 decibels when you're not talking, do that over a couple of seconds so it smooths it out a little bit.
So Kevin, you kind of have a rule of thumb in between narration as to when you would raise the music level. So like, I mean, if it's 5 seconds or less, would you do it, or it has to be 10 seconds or?
No, I would always do it. If it's 1 second, I'm not going to do it. But if it's, let's say 5 seconds, I would definitely, and again, you're not doing it a ton. And the other trick that I have is I start to do it just before she starts talking or finishes talking.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm here with the music and she's just the last word or two, I'm already starting to raise it. So it's making that transition up. It's at that nice level. Then when she starts to talk, a couple seconds before, I'm starting to drop it back.
You're just saying it's extreme ducking.
Well, yeah, it needs it. I think.
I didn't understand your points where you were.
Well,
but you're right, absolutely right. And it's what you're doing is you're saying, I'm losing you, audience.
Right. Well,
that's exactly what it says.
I guess it would be a thing where I think, oh, is the video over? Because music's not really loud. The other thing I'd love to see you do, you got to clean up some of these shots where you're in the car and it's zipping along. There was a shot where there was some people. Where is it? There was like a road crew right here. This shot is only up for like a second. I don't understand it. Like if I go back just a little bit.
You mean why they're pumping sewers?
Well, no, it's like if I look at the time. Hey, we're at 144. Got fiber optics.
There you go.
Okay.
15 miles.
Okay, right now we're at 146.
Make the same drive.
That shot is up for 3 seconds.
Yeah, it could have been longer.
Well, it could be longer or whatever. But the other thing
it's there because again, this is directed at Green Valley people.
No,
so that they recognize it's Green Valley.
I need it to be longer, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's too short. The other thing that I would try to do too is, again, this is me. There's a lot of bouncy that's in between these shots. If you watch that shot again, watch at the very end how all at once there's a big camera movement to the side.
Miles.
She's fairly steady.
Make the same.
See, look at that. You see that, folks? You see what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. Well, you don't like that?
No, I don't like that at all. And so I saw that there was a number of shots where you're in the car and you were going along and the vine was in the background. And there was a lot of like, real, like right here, watch this shot, just here.
Toward Tucson.
See that huge move up? I'm going back. It's like, okay, if I'm going to do that, this is where I start the shot. I don't want that, all this busyness, that really, I personally don't like it. Does anybody see that with me?
Yes, of course.
Close-up view.
And then there's, if you watch, and I'm not picking on Holly, I'm just saying that there just needs to be some cleanup. Same thing there.
I don't care for the trees. There's just so much while you're moving that almost is distracting from what's behind
The trees in the foreground as she going down the road.
I agree, except how do you get rid of the trees? And
Well-
I cut out, you wouldn't believe, I probably cut out 90% of the footage.
Sure.
Maybe some still shots that just
Yeah,
the
I
timing.
could have just done some,
Or-
go over, take it,
or-
make it over.
Or 2 drone pilots over there, give you a little footage. Seriously, that would get you up above the trees and just give you some of that
Yeah.
nice footage. A little drone action would be really nice.
Drone pilot.
I am, but I'm a busy drone pilot.
You know, I would have almost gotten out of the car and did a still shot of the virgin landscape in the foreground, the rape of the earth in
Right.
the background, then do some Ken Burns
Sure.
to zoom in on
Yeah, well,
what it should have looked like, and here's what it looks like now.
sure.
And this is what you're looking, because I think your message, Holly, is this is what's going to happen to the Santa Ritas
Right.
if we don't get off our keisters and
Right.
start acting.
Well, see, and she did that earlier, which I really liked when she had the shot of the flowers here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, here's the shot, and now that's the new landscape. So I like she's kind of got that before and after thing going. So to your point, Tom, yeah, that's just it's another way to do it. Did you do any stabilization with the video? Did you click on that button?
Here's the confession time. I was the photographer and Holly was the.
Well, no. Yeah, but
And I did have the phone on a stabilizer, but the road was kind of bouncy, and
Right.
that's why I had to move the camera up.
Sure.
Some
Well, I you know, the thing to me is, it's just cut it out. It's kind of like if we have, like, we've talked about this with drone stuff. Let's say I'm flying down the road, and then all at once I turn like this, and it's kind of this really abrupt turn. We'll cut out the part where I turn, now give you the video going this way. So it just, to me, it cleans it up. It's not as distracting, I guess. So that's my thought. Yeah.
For some reason, the one clip where you show the mine trailings and it's going from left to right, I don't know why that bothers me. For some reason in my mind, it should be right to left.
Oh, this here?
When she's driving along.
Oh, driving along.
Yeah.
No. Hang on, I'm trying to get. See that? Like shots like that is beautiful, Holly.
Yeah, it's a still shot.
Yeah, I know, and I love it.
I did.
Well, and I love the fact that you don't have the distractions of, as Ron was talking about, the trees or any other goodies in there, which is nice. So you've added that nice motion to it, which is great. I don't know if it's one of these, Todd.
Yeah, this section here.
Yeah. I mean, if it was me, I'd mount a GoPro to the outside of the car, kind of a thing. Or that would
If
be,
it was you, you'd fly a drone.
well, I would fly a drone, definitely.
Right.
Well, a drone would be the way to do it.
Yeah.
Give you
I
that
agree.
perspective. So talk to Todd and Royce about it, and they'll be happy to help.
If we wanted to, said draft
Yes.
and want to redo the movie, and somebody wants to get in on that project.
I actually may have some footage from out there because when the bike race, I was at that corner and flying my drone around. So I'll have to go back and look at it and see if there's something that you could use.
Yeah. I think that would definitely help get rid of some of that for you. Just that busyness of, like Ron said, with the trees and stuff. And it's hard shooting out of a car, even with a gimbal, and being stable because you're going to get some of that bounce in the road. So the drone would definitely be the way to go. Okay. Does anybody have anything else on that? All right, well, thank you, Holly. We'll work on some of that levels with you.
Right, that's why I brought it.
Yeah, we'll work on that. It's an easy fix. Okay. Last video for today is something that I did, and I'm not talking, which is really good. Bill will hate this, but it's a trip to the botanical gardens here in Tucson. So it's just pretty pictures. What are we gonna do next?
There's one spot that I am a sharpness person.
Yes.
but there's a shot of a flower that's very soft.
Yeah.
And the next shot was the first saguaro with a very sharp needle.
yeah.
So it went from one to the
Yeah,
other.
straight.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was just me.
Well, that's okay.
What camera and lens were you using?
Everything short of the video shot was on my Canon 35 millimeter. So manual exposure. Remember how we talked about that? Selective focus. So whatever your widest f-stop is, that's what you shoot at. What else did I do with that?
You were very tight on some of those shots.
Oh yeah,
Really tight.
yeah.
You're using a 100 macro or what?
No, I was using I got a 28 to 70. I also have an extension tube that I can put on that if I really want to get close to something, but most of the shots weren't. So
How were you doing those transitions?
it's just cross dissolve, 2-second cross dissolve versus a 1 second. So it gives it that a little bit more of a silky feel when you go between shots. It really just it gives it that nice feel versus, we're trying to, if you think about the music, and it's this solo guitar, acoustic guitar, and we've got this just real slow music. So I want to accentuate that with my moves. I don't want to have a lot of real fast zoom and zoom out. And then I add that 2-second cross dissolve, and it gives it time. It just gives it that time to fade and just really be smooth.
Sort of dreamy.
Well, like that's kind of the thought, yeah.
I liked your blue and your yellow because it was so, it was
Yes.
picture, they're so different.
The 10s. That was an awning or one of the things.
Play that clip again, because I thought at one point it's like a little jiggle to it.
There's just a little bit, it's just in the cross dissolve. Sometimes Final Cut, it's not very obvious, but it's there. I think it's more, you know what it is, Todd? It reminds me of, it's the contrast between the yellow and blue and then the green. And it kind of gives it that feel that it's jiggly because it's all editing. Yeah. Yeah, Paul.
Yeah, perfection is my comment.
Well, thank you.
I assume you like F1.8, F2 on most of the shots.
Yeah,
Softens the background.
yeah. That's the biggest thing that I would say too. A lot of times when people shoot flowers or nature, what do? They always shoot it like this. Here's the flower and they look at it flat like that. I always try to look at it from the side because I want to give that depth of field. I want to have that, like this shot. That's a great example. I'm just focused on the right here and letting there be some light. I'm also looking for what is going on in the background in terms of the light or whatever. Same thing, like any of those.
Those dissolves were really nice, the way you made those out.
Well, and
This group.
that's my thing of, I want to come in and come out. I don't want things to overlap.
Did you do any cleanup in post, or is your focus, your blur in the back, or is that all camera?
For the most part, it's all in camera. So just that selective focus is the quick story behind that for those that probably don't care. Canon's first digital camera, the original 1D, 4 megapixel. Think of what we got now. The body was $5,000. Because you're changing lenses all the time, you would start to get sensor dust within days. And so what would happen is, if you were trying to shoot at f11 or f16, it looked like a black dust storm on the photos. Well, what I started to realize is, if I shoot wide open, that sensor dust doesn't show up for that. Well, now with our technology, our current technology, now when you turn the camera on or off, it's got the mirror shake, if you've seen that. And so that prevents us. But that's what started this in my way of thinking, whatever, 25 years ago, was that sensor dust was a huge issue. And so I'm like, okay, I can get rid of it by shooting selective focus.
You know, some of those shots were like, I couldn't find a point to focus.
Yeah.
There were some of them there that I always thought without focus. And
You know, that's
not your thing. Everything's got to be in focus.
Yes, and actually the one shot you probably thought of is this shot right here.
No, I had 3 or 4 others.
Is this, because you think this is the center, your eye goes to the center, but there's the sharpness right there. So, yeah, trust me, there's always something that will be sharpened. Sure. I won't put a bad shot in. What's the point? So.
Delete them.
Yes, delete them, put your best work in them. If it's a little soft, if it's not sharp, then don't put it in.
The only photo I got of my grandkid with a smile.
Yes.
If it's a little out of focus, it's going in.
Well, that you can do. And also you can use Topaz AI for the face.
Yeah.
I just did something with an old shot that way. So, okay. Does anybody have anything else on that? All right, well, thank you. Oh, go ahead, Todd.
I was just gonna say, remind everyone, trial walk tomorrow afternoon.
And is Sherry Lee gonna be back?
No.
Hey, so you're hosting, Ann?
After Todd's.
You and Todd are hosting? You're co-hosting?
Yeah.
Co-hosting.
And that's at 2:00?
Yes.
At Desert Hills. Okay. Yeah, Danny.
I have a question for the group
Okay.
regarding the setup of this group. So after the board meeting last week, all the chairs were put in to the middle with 2 aisles on the side for you to walk down and then come in. The reason was that the walls are getting banged up. But now we got Todd for to touch them up. It wasn't set up that way this morning because I wanted to get your feedback on that, but I didn't know if that was a better a way to have it centered and then the aisles on the side.
One of the things that happened is people were tripping over each other because you gotta walk, and the chairs are so close this way to get them all in. It was sort of odd walking, trying to get by people.
Okay.
This is more comfortable. I mean.
Okay. Well, the board decided to try that, but you're the biggest group that uses this, so I thought I would ask you.
And when you're short like me. Slide your chair out in the middle of the seat.
Well, sure. Yeah, I think if you were gonna do it, you'd have to have them staggered if that was the case.
Just be careful with banging the walls.
Yes. Okay.
So what are we doing?
We're gonna just do what we're doing
The
here.
way it is.
Why can't we do 2 aisle instead of 1? Would that pull the chairs away from the wall more?
Well, you're gonna, eliminate chairs to do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
so this is the most,
This is the biggest group.
yeah, but this is the most amount of chairs.
Yeah.
The other option is put in a chair rail.
Put in a chair.
No, actually, what we need is a bigger room.
We had a bigger room.
I know we did. Okay. Next week, Todd is hosting. Wendell has a video that he's gonna show, and Rick's got one.
Good.
And then whoever else.
One from Paul too.
Oh, Paul's got one?
Phil's got one.
Oh, Phil's got one to show. So, yeah, we got all these videos for next week. So,
Good.
everybody get out and shoot. Have a great week. And thanks as always for coming. We will see you later. Bye-bye, everybody.